Welcome back guys to GTS Garage. Today I'm going to give you a quick look at the garage because it is in a right state at the moment behind me. Okay, so today I'm going to give you an update on the project bike, see where we're at with that. I'm also going to use something called pick and pluck foam and make some inserts for the toolbox. Okay guys, with regards to the update to the bike, basically we've got the lighting circuit up, so I know the lighting circuit works now, we've got everything that we should have, but the starting circuit still fails. Now I was kind of hoping when I found the ground or the short on the lighting circuit that was going to be something that was going to be affecting all of it, but it's not. So what I did is first of all is I checked it back from the coils, our starter motor. So I checked it back from the starter motor all the way back. It actually turns out the ignition after all this time was faulty. I didn't realise. So basically I assumed that because we had lights and everything else was running that the ignition would work. But when I did a continuity test between the red and the brown wire. So the power comes in on the red and goes out by the blue for the lights, which is fine, not a problem at all. So I assumed that there was power going back out onto the brown, and there wasn't. So you switched the ignition over, did a continuity test between the two, and I got nothing. So I knew then that the actual ignition had failed. Over a couple of years, the brown wire must have snapped, or something inside went, and basically the ignition has been the problem all along. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll get a new one of those, which I have. So if I just quickly show you the new one. And this one comes from Poland, but it costs £31, comes with 2 keys. It's actually quite decent actually. The only thing I will say, and I'll just move my hand out of the way, is the wires are exactly the same, the colour code is exactly the same. But the actual thickness of the wires is nothing like the original. The other ones are far more beef. Okay, so that's basically the ignition. So I changed the ignition, and I now, when I press the start button, I now get the oil light comes on. So when I press the ignition, it basically, the oil light comes on, and then as soon as I release the ignition, I should say again, let's be very clear. So when I turn the ignition to on, all the lights come on as you would expect. As soon as I hit the start button, that's the one. As soon as I hit the start button, the oil light comes on, and if I take my finger off the start button, the oil light goes off. So it goes on and off, on and off. So okay. Everything I've read suggests that is to do with the safety circuit. So the safety circuit starts from the clutch. So basically, this button here. Okay, so you press in. That's supposed to activate the clutch, and it allows the bike to start. So that's the first one. Now what I've done with that is I've bypassed that here. So let me think. So that's the clutch bypass. Okay, so there's a clutch bypass. So I know, well, I believe that one to be fine. So the second safety one is the side stand switch, which is here. Now I've bypassed that again. So I've bypassed the clutch and the side stand just to make sure that they weren't faulty. And the neutral light is on, so I'm assuming that it's in neutral. So with those three all done, the bike should start. But that oil light, from everything I've read, that oil light is significant. And it's saying basically something on the safety circuit isn't working. Now it could be any of those components. So where I am going to start with this is I've got a new side stand switch, and I'm going to fit that on Monday. I'm going to fit that. I'm trying to think if I'm here the weekend, which is why I said Monday. Either the weekend or Monday, I will fit the side stand switch. I will try it again, and that's about it. The only thing that worries me slightly is whilst I can get the clip that goes on there to kind of put this back on, it is the wrong type of connector for the OEM connection, and I'm going to have to work around those. I'm not great at electronics, and everything I tend to do, I tend to bodge, and I have found historically the more I bodge, the less likely things are to work, but we'll go from there. So that's about it. Sorry it's not kind of, as I said, we're kind of in a very tight environment here at the moment. Everything's all over the place because I'm doing everything else. So I've not had a chance to kind of wheel the bikes out and give you a full look around. But that is basically an upgrade on the XJ600. So now we've done that, let's take a look at smartening up the toolkit and making sure I get rid of all those additional tools that I don't really need. And also make it so I can actually find something when I'm looking for it. Alright, let's crack on. Okay, when it comes to the pick and pack foam, it's fairly easy, guys. I'm not going to show you me cutting everything out because just not. It's just going to get boring after a while. So as you can see, it's modular. Okay, so it's all cut and already almost pre-scored into the into blocks, into equal blocks, which allows you just to go through and just make your cuts where you want to, cut everything to the right size. Okay guys, I'm going to crack on with that, and then I'll bring you back when I've done the first tray, and then we will just go through and I'll bring you back for the result. It's just made probably very light on there, but that's all right. So 3, 4, and the only other drawers is that one down there, which is 3/4. So all done.